Hello Year 3 and welcome back to week 2 of home learning. Congratulations on completing your first week last week and I hope you had a super weekend. I'm just popping on to read chapter 4 of Codename Bananas. I was in school last week. Well, I'm in school now, but I was teaching some Year 3 children last week and I read chapter 4 to them on Friday and they actually joined in with some of the story and it made it super fun. So I thought you guys at home could join in and help me with some of this story. So the chapter is called Blowing Raspberries. Ooh, do you know how to blow a raspberry? Well, Eric does tell you in the story, but you put your lips together, you stick your tongue out and you blow. In parts of this story, you're going to have to help me do that because that's what Eric and Gertrude are up to in this chapter. So let's get started. All those in the crowd looked around to spot who exactly this gorilla was so excited to see. Eric was painfully shy. Such was his embarrassment at being stared at that he blushed redder than a tomato. Eric gave a little wave back to his friend. Then the crowd parted to let the boy go to the front. Gertrude shimmied down the rope with ease and lolloped over to Eric. He put his hand up against the metal bars. "Be careful," came a shout from the crowd. "Gorillas are dangerous," came another. "It'll rip your arm off quicker than you can say Jack Sprat," warned a third. The gorilla followed the boy's lead. Gently, she placed her hand up against the bars from the inside. Now the palms of their hands were just touching. Eric smiled, and Gertrude smiled back. Seeing her big, silly smile made him chuckle, and Gertrude hooted with laughter too. Ha ha! Then the boy stuck his tongue out at her. Then the gorilla stuck her tongue out back at him. There's a photo of them there, putting their hands through the bars and touching. There was a ripple of laughter through the crowd. Ha ha ha! Hearing them, Eric felt flustered and took a step back. "Come on, boy," someone prompted. "Don't stop now," urged another. "This is worth the price of admission alone," remarked a third. The boy took a deep breath and tried to put all these strangers out of his mind. Summoning all his courage, he stepped towards the cage again. Gertrude smiled at him, her eyes twinkling. Eric smiled back. The gorilla's smiles were infectious. Today, the boy was determined to try to go one further, to teach Gertrude a new trick. So Eric did something that always made him chuckle. He blew a raspberry. There were tuts and murmurs of disapproval from some of the grown-ups. Clearly, they were unimpressed with this childish behaviour, but the gorilla was not. Gertrude looked puzzled for a moment. Then she pursed her lips and blew, but no sound came out. Egging her on to try again, the boy slowly pursed his lips, pushed his tongue forward, and blew. Can you do it? Tut, tut, tut. Looking at Eric the entire time for encouragement, the gorilla copied him. Once again, she pursed her lips and pushed her tongue even further forward. This time, like a raspberry blowing champion, Gertrude blew the loudest, longest raspberry the world had ever known. Can you do that? Success! Despite now having his face covered in gorilla spit, the boy couldn't help but laugh. Ha ha ha! The stern-faced crowd began to chuckle too. "Well played, boy! The child is a marvel with animals. This pair should be on stage." Feeling 10 foot tall now, Eric was wondering if there was something else he could do. Could these raspberries be blown into something resembling a tune? There was only one way to find out. The boy didn't know many songs. One he often sang in school assembly and had in fact sung that very morning was Rule Britannia. So, replaying the tune in his head, he began raspberrying out the notes of the chorus. Eric fell silent in the hope that Gertrude would follow his lead. The gorilla tilted her head and looked at the boy as if he was balmy. Undeterred by this, Eric persisted. The boy repeated himself. Gertrude tilted her head to the other side. Then a mischievous thought flashed across her eyes, and she pursed her lips together and pushed her tongue forward. A long, low raspberry came out once again, covering the boy in more gorilla spit. Good luck with that one, lad, snorted a voice from behind. Next you'll be teaching it to play the piano, or even dance at the Royal Ballet. Ha ha ha. Eric could sense people ebbing away, but he was sure it was worth one more try. This time, the most wondrous thing happened. Gertrude joined in. This little boy and this great ape were blowing raspberries to the tune of Royal Britannia. Eric kept eye contact with Gertrude and nodded his head so she would keep the time. He was pretty sure that she didn't know the song. Why would she? But she was picking it up very quickly. Soon, those that had shuffled away raced back to catch a glimpse of the show. More and more people joined until there was a huge crowd gathered around the cage. Eric was concentrating so much on teaching the tune that he had managed to put them entirely out of his mind. Focusing on Gertrude, the pair reached the end of the chorus with one last big booming raspberry. Can you do it one last time? There they are, blowing their raspberries with the big crowd behind cheering them on. Instantly, the crowd broke into wild applause. More, encore, play us another. The boy turned round. Because of the fuss, his face was now as red as a London bus. Well, Then, at the back of the crowd, he heard a voice. An angry voice. A voice he knew only too well, shouting his name. Eric! Who do you think it is? I will be uploading another video tomorrow of me reading chapter 5. See you!